Okay. Overpass. A lot of South Africans hate this map. It speaks to why it's the third map. It gets vetoed time and time again because how complicated and technical it is. So, 5-man barrel bombarding towards this A site. Wipeout and Lowers finds the first, can't find any more, and they're going to choose to ignore him and move up towards the A site, running backward just to continue with the trajectory and pace it slow. And Daru to defend the site and just put some bullets through. Blaze finds one in the rear, finds a second Wipeout. Riskov gets to himself, 2 versus 2. Got a moment to breathe and there's none. And Wipeout finishes it off, and very back and forth.
Tools, I think there was actually some miscommunication there from the 15AvgGang side. They didn't realize Wipeout was in towards bathrooms, and when Ryzo was going back towards Lowers with the bomb, he doesn't actually backstab Wipeout to get that trade. He goes down, and Bravado win the round. I mean, it was looking very comfortable at one point, but 15AvgGang had a good crack at it in the end.
It feels like if you give them the opportunity to take a duel, they'll take that duel. And more so than not, because of the mechanics, they might win that duel. But if you outsmart your opponent, it's going to be easy. As you can see, walking through the smoke, a trade does come out from Risco, and they semi-force into it. They get body armor, they get the AK, I mean the Doinkle, but no utility to back anything up.
A bit of peculiar decision to invest the way that they have. Normally you go all in and you full force on the T side if you lose the pistol, normally when you get the plant, or you full save and buy in the next. The problem with this decision is that you're kind of going to get left in limbo, like you're kind of in between both of those options. So they're not going to be able to full buy in the next round unless they get a plant here maybe.
Subsequently, it doesn't give you space moving into the side without utility to execute. And that's the fun of some bulls at range, traded out, and one more opponent left. A rotator is coming in from short, that is Wipeout, but he opts to forfeit short control, and Blaze takes his position, finds Doddy, giving them that man advantage, furthering the bleed, furthering the hurt. Looking to pick up that second round. It's down to Riskov. That MP9 in the smoke. Can't really do much. Deleted by Daru. No head armor. So that's the second round on the board. And 15AvgGang. Now what, when you look at the economy, what can you actually do with this? It's a mixed bag. Some players with 3, some players with 3.7. In fact, I would say go for the force buy in a round like this.
I don't know, Tools. The problem is because of the way they half bought in the previous round, it doesn't really give them many options. They're going to have to go for the full eco here now. And that just even more makes me question their decision-making in the previous round.
It becomes redundant in that sense.
Absolutely.
Because you look, we're going to have a look at the weaponry from Bravado. You'd see they're still left with FAMASs, left with MP9s, and you look at the financial situation of 15AvgGang, they could have afforded 2 AKs with head armor and then full deagles and utilities and others to create that mismatch and stick in that death ball, stick in a pot and find those trades here and there, evening out to a 3v3 and unfolding play from there. Now, I don't even know what strategy they can go with. They should just full save, but still the next round is going to be even harder because you still won't have all the bells and whistles, and with the 3-round deficit. Not a way to start a T-side campaign.
Yeah, essentially it's going to set them back around from what they would have been able to invest into otherwise. Just a bit of a tech issue here, so hopefully not going to be too many issues. As you can see, Ryzo trying to signal to his teammates there, we're not allowed to talk during the tactical pause, mate, so
yeah,
message will eventually be construed.
Shout out to Iyad, the coach, his son from Algeria, chilling in Twitch chat, as well as all the Algerian friends in Twitch chat, rooting their team on their country. Pride and patriocy always comes through in these types of matchups when 2 countries are involved. As we can see.
Have a look at the admin on the screen there, Tools. Let's get a close-up of that beautiful human being. Elusive, resolving the issues right now. Looks like there's something wrong with Discord as far as I can tell.
This is why we stuck with TeamSpeak back in the day.
There we go.
None of this happened.
How many gamers does it take to fix a mic in Discord, Tools?
All of them.
All of them? Is that enough?
Don't even think so. Problem with tech issues, it's always finicky that it's not always going to be the same. It's a problem with technology. Something new always arises.
Does it escape you, old man?
Yes. Give me my TeamSpeak.
How old are you now, Tools?
30. Dirty 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I thought you had more experience than that.
What? What, 35, 34?
No, not that, mate.
36?
32, I would have
32.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did start young though.
Yeah, that's exactly why I thought you were older. It's just like how long you've been playing for.
I was around with the DC guys back in the first Rage I ever went to. I got to see was DC versus Identity.
Damn, I've never heard of Identity before, and
that was basically before Bravado. I think it was Identity.
Oh, okay.
With Senton and the boys there on that side. I think Playboy is part of it too. Adrenaline, all those, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some familiar names.
Yeah.
You know, Snappy, the IGL of ENTS, is 32 years old, Tools.
Not surprised. I think, how many IGLs are that age?
What's that?
So, Snappy 32, Carrigan 30, 31, 32 as well?
Yeah.
So a lot of the old IGLs were up and coming. Actually, I wouldn't say up and coming. Snappy, recent. I think he hasn't really been to the high echelons. But you look at Carrigan's career from 1.6, he was a star player and then became an IGL. Snappy, I don't think he's ever been a star player in his entire career.
Yeah. Just a quick little brief switch across to us here before we go back into the matchup, which we are going to do now. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you that there's a lot more longevity to players' careers than I think generally people give credit for. It's normally the IGLs who have a longer run than star players, so I think that's fair enough. Looking at the ages in the server, I think 15AvgGang, their average age is about 22 years old, and on the side of Bravado, probably somewhere similar, I would say.
Yeah.
Slowy the oldest at, what, 26 now, I think?
What a belly. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think you have that card, Tools.
Never.
So this is what we were concerned about for 15AvgGang after that weird buy in the previous round. Another sort of half buy, little bit of an investment, but really not much going for them.
It feels like they always want to give themselves a chance within a round with an investment, but to what end? At what cost? Rounds? I think that's why they start to fall short. That's why they fell short in Inferno, I think. But the buys weren't this in shambles. As we saw, Nice Beast coming up from Blaze with an easy free frag, MP9. Nets them an extra $600 from us at long range is always going to best the Deagle most of the times with that automatic capability.
Something we have spoken about but haven't really gone on at length about is Bravado on Overpass. It's not normally a map that they're incredibly acquainted with. They like Dust 2, they like Nuke, they like Vertigo, they like Mirage. The maps they don't really play are Ancient, Overpass, and
Vertigo, Anubis. Just came out, I don't know.
Fair enough, but still, Overpass is normally not in that collection of maps that they play regularly, Tools, so we're going to have to see something out of them here that we don't generally see.
When you speak to all the new players in the scene, when I say new in the last 3 years, it's the same comment. Overpass, it's old school, there's not much to do, hasn't been updated, it's archaic. But I think to the contrary, it's not. I think it creates a lot of options for strategies, for plays. The most exciting map, in my opinion.
I agree, it's my favorite map in the pool. And maybe we'll go on more about that a bit later. It should be a free frag there coming through for the T side. And they double down, both Slowy and Wipeout, dealt with in kind. Easy sequence of frags. That blows the door wide open.
It's down to Blaze with an MP9. You can't really think he'll get much from it. Finds one, retreats back, and just holds off. He needs to cover off all the choke points. And Doru, an insta headshot with that Farmas. I think it betrays players most of the times, but now it prevails. That backstab by Labrakor and Rizgoff adds to the tally. Left alive and deleted by Spike and away as ever. And there we go, the first gun round goes their way. And it feels like we've played 6-7 rounds and you think that's the first gun round?
I mean, to be fair, it was a bit of a bonus round for the CT side. They had quite a few MP9s and FAMASas coming into the round there. Now we're going to see them with more FAMASas and M4s. They've got an AWP at least this time though. And that's going to be a massive part of their setup on the CT side, Tools.
Can you tell the difference between head armor and no head armor? No.
You can. I just think nobody has head armor on the server right now. I'm sure you can. I've seen it before, so.
That's crazy.
Why would the T side not have it though? That's
you know what I'm saying?
Peculiar to me.
I think it's to skimp out on the economy, but that just allows the M4 to kill you in one shot.
I mean, you understand why for Bravado playing against the AKs.
Yeah, but not from the side of the Ts. It shouldn't be the play, but once again, they're strapped for cash. And sure, Dotty, Labrakor, Spike, and they could have all got a head armor besides one guy. But anyway, it was moved towards long. That's a spam from lowers. Very common when you watch a lot of Overpass.
Yes. That wall bang goes through the door into lowers, and it takes you do so much damage. It's actually pretty crazy. And when you're the T player, to spray back is so difficult as well.
Yeah, shooting in the dark there. Flash towards Banana, oh, Slowy almost collecting the scalp. Wipeout, finding information. They have the man advantage. They don't need to be too active, but as long as they're moving in pod, Wipeout, Slowy, moving in tandem, it's Blaze to hold off long while they do so.
Is going to be the A-bomb site under scrutiny here by 15AvgGang. Problem is they continue to lose players left, right, and center. They will get that opening onto the A-bomb side. Slowy gets caught off guard. That's going to be a plant at the bare minimum. Post-plant situation ensues, and I think that the T-side can make something of this.
Blaze,
never mind.
Aware as ever, little short movements to make sure he doesn't have to correct too much when he takes the duel at Spike and left in a 1 versus 4. All angles without the bathrooms and overwhelmed. Too many man. Bulls finishes them off. That'll put 4 rounds on the board. The CT side, like we mentioned earlier, is the dominant side, so things are looking good. Things are looking pretty.
Have a look at that. Speaking of things looking pretty, that left ring finger on Slowy, it's populated, it's occupied, Tools. The man got engaged recently.
Yes,
so
congrats.
Shout out to him and Danny. Congrats on their engagement. Wish them many happy years together. But right now, Slowy's focus is on the Counter-Strike, Tools.
Yeah, as he's the captain, the wielder of the AWP, a lot of responsibilities on his shoulder. Pretty sure he's used to it by now, of course.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the most experienced player in this team. Maybe alongside Blaze, it's a bit of a conversation about different types of experience. Blaze obviously played in North America, and he's played a lot in South Africa as well. I mean, Blaze even went overseas with the Energy roster where they played at that Asia Minor.
Yes.
Slowy's been around for so many years, played with a lot of the best players we've had in South Africa. So they've got different aspects of experience, I would say.
I can agree with that. And experience with dealing with players and experience with dealing with pressure.
Yes. So they have to be the 2 leaders in the team in terms of that experience right now. Wipeout looking to be the leader here in the round. 1 and done from him. Not actually a great result, but Slowy takes a step further. Locks his man advantage in for the round, goes a step further. Great pick there on Spiken.
Snaps that bird out of the sky. It's Dodu, remaining player alive, and seems like utility has gone past them. They've thrown that out of the bin. They just want to take duels. They're not smoking bathrooms, mollying stairs, flashing to take an isolated duel towards lowers. And at Blaze tapping away up against an AWP. You want to be keeping that economy alive. Did he just skin him a little?
Yeah, what? That barely did any damage. Great flashes as well, but Doddy going to regain his vision in time there. Blaze wants to try and finish off the round as fast as he can. That cost him his life. We saw what Doddy was capable of in Mirage. They need to give this guy his respect, man.
Yeah, weave down the clock, force him into a tough position, give him more than 1 focus point, and then take that frag. Slowy holding down long. Doru is holding down that A site. Vulge has the rotation, so essentially he is locked in. 36 seconds remaining on the clock, and you almost think, is the save worth it?
I mean, looking at their money, you'd probably say wouldn't be ideal to save, but they have that max round loss bonus, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. He still has some cash in the bank as well, so I guess if he just stays alive here, gives them an AWP to work with in the next, which would be an eco, and he could buy in the round after that anyway. So yeah, I think saving is the right call. 5-1 though, Tools. Looking a lot more clinical right now from Bravado, pretty much compared to what we saw throughout the entirety of Mirage.
100%. It felt like Mirage, there was less structure from 15AvgGang in terms of utility placed, execing A, execing B, moving as a pod. It was very puggy, open, everyone doing their own thing. Overpass is a map where you cannot allow that on the T side. You will get caught, you will get AWPed, you will get battered and bruised entering choke points. The B tunnel is narrow, short is narrow, long is an open, expanded point where you could get damaged, can get hit from the left or the right. Bathrooms moving up needs to be smoked off, so as soon as they're starting to incorporate that, they'll have more space and room to work with mid-round to late round. But now they're getting destroyed early round. We can already see Wipeout pushing towards long. Dotty, poised as ever. Slowly missing out on the trade there. Needs to get out of dodge, get out of danger, but Razio's all over him like a rash. Risk off, comes from Lowe's. Destroys him, and Lambrecall taking advantage of that space, taking advantage of those micro movements on the mini-map. Blaze, Willy, opposite sides of the map, but need to do damage. They need to recover this round, and there we go. He pushes towards Monster.
Yeah, the problem here for the T side is that the bomb is still so far away from the site that they actually aren't able to do much with the position they get themselves into. 5 versus 2 turn into a 2 versus 2, and all of a sudden this is a hell of a lot more doable here for Bravado Gaming.
And it has to be Blaze, Matt. He's with the high HP.
He's in a great position here right now. As well, Tools player walks into his crosshair. Free frag for Blaze, and it's falling apart at the seams for 15AvgGang. They had everything going for them, Tools.
Feels like Inferno all over again.
That's devastating. That's a 5v2 in the gun round to get their campaign underway.
And I think that played into the playstyle. You know, if you're going to be loose, play everywhere, disembark on your own campaign along the map, you're going to get caught like that, because you saw Vuljan, big brain on him to just make that play. Because even if you went down, all right, cool, whatever, we lose the round, but to not make that play is more of a mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you. Initiative, such an important aspect of a Counter-Strike player's game. Slowy decides to hang around after being blinded up, nearly cost him his life. Will be able to get back alive this time though.
Again, moving with such pace, and I don't know why they wouldn't smoke this then rather to molly it because of that. It almost feels like individually they don't have the map knowledge to understand, smoke off that choke point, force them elsewhere, otherwise this happens. It just felt too disjointed. Now it's down to Spike and the rest of the lads to bring this back. Sticking together in a pod, chooses to beat that Molotov, but finds nothing for it. Man advantage for Bravado, and the pressure is there. They have been struggling through these rounds that they have been winning, so economy speaks to that fact. Only 7k on Vulj.
Yeah, that's true. It means that a 15AvgGang could win this round right here. Gets them straight back into it pretty much. A candle, rather a carrot being dangled in front of them. Candles on the brain, load shedding and all.
Yeah.
But here we go, Tools. It's going to be a bit of a fake on towards the one side of the map and then execute on the opposite.
Problem is, sooner or later, it will be Wipeout to get information to call them out. And there we go. Flashbang is fantastic from Slowy Bulls.
Oh,
cuts
wow.
them off towards Monster. And again, falling apart. Daru delivers a swift headshot, and that forces... Are you kidding me? I keep seeing them die instantly from an A1 headshot. That means they're not buying head armor. Why are they not buying head armor?
Yeah, that's certainly a curious one, Tools.
I got questions. Chloe, write that down. That should be a question.
Okay. Yeah, well, they'd have to be the winners if they're going to get interviewed, and that's not looking great right now. You can hear some Bravado fans still have their voices in the crowd. 7-1. Total domination right now here from the CT side. We had an incredibly one-sided map on Inferno. That was 16-4. One-sided in the second as well, just in the opposite direction. And now we have Overpass. It's actually been whoever started on the CT side has completely dominated the map so far, Tools.
Momentum-based game.
Tough times on the T side.
Tough times never last.
Tough people do.
Okay, so if they can continue with this and keep the economy afloat, keep that AWP viable, Slowy's going to keep picking up some frags. He's always being aggressive earlier on, pushing them back, creating pressure, baiting out utility, forcing sound cues out of 15AvgGang. I just want them to be more particular about the utility. That's all. And this game could be completely different. Smoke bathrooms every time.
Yeah, that's the problem with Overpass, is that you actually have to have that tactical depth to your T side. Not like Mirage, where you can just kind of run around with a flashbang here or there.
Yeah.
You need to have those protocols in place.
That's the beauty of Overpass. It punishes those who don't do their research.
Absolutely, and it favors tactful plays, depth.
Yes, and preparation, 100%.
And preparation, absolutely. And another reason I love it, we actually got interrupted by a sick round earlier. I wanted to say on the CT side, I love how much you can do. There's so many options. You can make plays towards long, you can get aggressive with the AWP towards Fountain, you can go in towards lowers. We've seen people push through Monster when there's a smoke in there, play into water. The CT side is so versatile on Overpass.
Good flashbang for Wipeout, and needs to get out of there after that. He does have protection in the form of Chloe from behind. Beautiful flash, isolates his Wipeout, and he's destroyed from Spike and from that distance. Dodu trades out Wipeout, Blaze. At least he's able to recover a little, 3 versus 2. And again, they have armor. They've had armor every round this entire match.
Maybe that's the answer to your question, Tools. Maybe the extra $350 that they save each and every time ends up making a difference in the long run. I don't know. That's not the case. It's just round loss bonus at this point.
I just want to understand the method behind the madness.
We'll see in the next gun round. I'm sure in the next gun round they're going to have head armors. They have to.
I pray. Labrador, last player remaining, taken up by Blaze. 8-1. Bravado safely have secured the half win. It is a CT side favorite map, so chilled vibes. Chilled vibes.
It is, but it's not like an old school nuke CT sided map where you don't really mind the scoreline. If you're 15 average gang, you want at least 5 rounds here on your first half. I think anything less than that's going to be really difficult to recover from. Okay. Both of these teams have struggled to get back into it once they've fallen behind the game.
Different approach from 15 average gang. Short control. Alright, so they do know utility. Let's see.
Still no head armor, by the way.
Muddy towards barrels, and they're hitting up that B side. It's vulnerable, but the frag quickly all in favor of Bravado.
Wow.
This defense stands strong. Iron shield.
And that was a new approach from 15 average gang where they go for the pop into the B bomb site. I am going to say though, Tools, I think we've probably been off the mark, and that's the HUD that's trolling us with the armor.
I think it's the HUD. No ways. It cannot be.
It cannot be.
It cannot be.
There's no ways. It has to be the HUD. So apologies, guys. Tools and I have been ranting on the whole time.
Yeah. Perplexed even.
But that does make more sense.
It does. It does.
So all's well and ends well. 9-1. Nothing looking well here for a 15 average gang right now.
There we go. Molotov towards smoke towards bathrooms, and slowly has to pedal back and readjust that attack. Molotov just to give them some space to move further back and readjust that defense slowly. It's a nice angle towards Banana. Blaze pivoting back to holds long, trying to bait out the shot, but slowly, discipline, exercising. Some caution there, good movement. I like that back pedal wiggle. Nice right off, bait and switch coming up. That's a triple, destroying everybody in his path. Defensive smoke just to stay alive longer.
Beautiful sequence of frags coming through there from Wipeout. We saw how quiet he was on Mirage, but roaring here on Overpass. Making his presence known.
He's trying to be a smoke criminal, but again, Bravado decide to take a step back into that A site, create that crossfire. Same thing happening on the B side, 2-2 defense. The 2 players remaining alive from 15 average gang, 30 seconds left on the clock, 2 smokes and a flashbang. If they choose to expel those, where and how?
Yeah, they're going to have to go in towards the safe bomb site. No other option. Lambda Core looking to try and lead the charge here as he makes his way forward right now. Flash over the top of him to try and find that opening kill. Nothing on offer immediately. And it's going to be Slowy with the shotgun AWP. Himself and Blaze work in tandem, work in unison there to finish off the round. 10-1. Couldn't be more dominant. Well, I suppose it could, but not by much, Tools.
Yeah, seems like there's a sea of blue out there. Sure, the fans would love that. Bravado. South African team moving into the grand final with ease, 10-1. This is a ruffle stomp, as some would say.
I will say they're playing, this is a far more clinical game coming through from Bravado and Overpass. Looking a lot more well-oiled, making much better decisions as well. Slowy though, he's been forced forward. He didn't have the option to fall back. Now they're circumventing him. He's even lost his insurance policy and he'll lose his life out as well.
Blaze has to pedal to this defensive side and hold it. A multi-kill, a big round needs to come out of him, but there was just too much variability for him to withstand his ground. Daru, Vulge, remaining players alive. Vulge a kilometer, a mile away, so Daru needs to be the game changer and they both get taken out in 2 rounds on the board. Is it going to be enough, Matt?
I mean, it needs to be the start of a sequence here. That can't be a flash in the pan. And that was a very easy round for them as well, all things considered. Slowy overextending, couldn't fall back. The aggression caught him off, and his teammate towards bathrooms, I think it was Blaze, he also got destroyed. And from their 15 average gang just had the race to that A bomb site in their favor.
And it was pace once again to take them through that round. So I've said in the beginning of this entire matchup, if you cannot control 15 average gang's pace, you're going to get caught pedaling back and tripping over your laces.
It's going to be the same case coming into this next round here once again as well, Tools. AG Grenade does a lot of damage, sprays through the smoke as well. A couple players here on the speed bomb side working together, although there are some trades to speak of. 2v3, rounds alive.
Well, definitely. Smokes gives some good space to at least get the bomb down if they really wanted to. That molly's a bit short, but they smoke themselves off short, Bravado. It's okay. They still have the man advantage to work with. A stalemate.
trying to
Blaze.
use those smokes, but it's Blaze who sets the round alight. Could even finish it off here as well, looking to try and suffocate the fire within 15AvgGang, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Bravado straight back to winning ways, Tools. Drop around, but they put that behind them and carry on the objective.
It hurts more for 15AvgGang. That's an economic reset. What now? They've done all they can to try string rounds together to better themselves for the next, but the last remaining rounds alive and they're broke. No money for the holidays, no money for this round.
I think they might have enough cash to buy her because that round they won, they kept 4 or 5 players alive before that, so might just have enough cash. We'll see. Their numbers aren't looking great in terms of the fragging department though. All between 3 and 8 kills right now. Nobody able to have much of an impact on this T side. As I said, all 3 maps have been very CT dominated so far.
And it seems like the ability to recover escapes them. On that T side, moving over the scoreboard could be quite glaring and a daunting task, but it's a purpose and a mission you must complete. It's how you recover and how you get that comeback mechanic going. If you can't form it now on LAN, when will you ever do it? Online doesn't really matter much since the COVID era. It's LAN that matters.
Slowly again in a forward position and needs to be careful. Been bypassed. Scope not necessarily heard. Wow, he is in a very far forward position right now. Going to be damaged on the tag. Steps out afterwards. That cost him his life again. Both of the players towards the top side of the map here for Bravado Gaming might cost them a round.
Over eagerness, and it's down to Blaze once again, and they get shot from the side. Isn't expecting that pace coming off 15AvgGang. We spoke about this earlier. Oh, what? I thought it was going to knife his own boy. I was going to knife his own boy. I was like, no, don't do this.
Man, not like this. Surely that would be mutiny live on the broadcast. But Tools, I mean, again, what an easy passage for 15AvgGang to win a round. There was no depth. They didn't draw rotations, get picks here or there, and then work into an execute. Just fast-paced play and slowly overextends.
Yeah. But you force those mistakes out. You add in a fresher. I mean, yeah, you showed a bit of a stanky leg. It was enticing to go for that repeat after that, but from then on, I think call it quits. You already see 2 players try to save.
I will say, Slowy is one of those players, when he's struggling to get into a map, he'll continue to make aggressive plays to try and force himself into the game. So that's one of those plays there where he doesn't look super comfortable, but he decides against falling back because he wants to back his aim. And it doesn't look great when it doesn't come off, but when it does, obviously it's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, against high-level teams, it definitely doesn't pay off.
That's true. Look at the investment here for the CT side. Looks pretty bleak.
Yeah, AWP, a Scout, M4, and UMP. Haven't seen that in days.
Oh my Been ages. Certainly not my USP of choice. That's for SMG of choice. Unfortunately for Blaze, he's got the younger brother of the sniper rifle. A couple tags coming through from him. We've all seen Blaze's YouTube highlights, and we've seen what he's done with the Scout before. That nutty sequence of kills in the apartments in Mirage. He's potent with the gun.
No, he's potent with every rifle. He's got the mechanics to wield it. Overpass is one of those maps where Scout is pivotal towards that A site. You got long bathrooms, lowers towards Monster to use it. It is the last round of the half, and 15AvgGang need this more than ever. Good sound cues coming out. The double kill come to the way of HazE. He loves that every day of the week in the breadbasket. It's a good way to recover as they're moving towards this B side slowly. Can't find his man just yet. Daru always going to get cleared most of the time at that angle. Slowly, could he throw some miraculous sequence of events, but no. Spike in, shuts him down. 4 rounds on the board on the attacking side, which isn't too bad. Nothing to scoff at.
Great position there from Ryzo in towards Party. As soon as both of those players extend, looking for information for Bravado, they both get dealt with. And then after that, it's executed towards the B bomb side. I think it was Spiken who clears the player towards sandbags. Just great awareness from him in general. After Slowey gets the kill from Heaven, most players probably get drawn in towards that part of the map, but he was still hyper-focused on clearing out the bomb sites in its entirety. And that was great awareness. Now we go into the second half of the Decider. Last map of the series, should be the last half as well, unless we go to overtime, Tools.
Okay, the Sheriff is in town. Labracore, double doozy, selling low, as I did say. It'll be a contention point in the map.
Oh my.
5-man death ball towards long. This is around the world. I love this strategy.
Oh no, but this is the perfect strat for 15AvgGang. They're ready and waiting. Numbers in towards lowers. The fight starts to break out. The round lives and dies with the result here. So far, Dotty gone completely undetected. Not checked, not cleared. He's able to pounce. 2 great kills come through from him. And Blaze trades, but the damage is done.
All right, trades up to the Doolies. 2 versus 1. Looking for some highlight frags for his YouTube channel, is Blaze. Plenty of time on the clock. He could be anywhere.
The irony for Bravado is, had they just carried on pushing up long, they would have gone into a completely vacant bomb site. Of course, they wouldn't know that, but the handbrake turn cost them.
That strat has been around since 2013, I tell you.
Look at Ruskov. He's outside of the monster tunnel right now. Blaze is pushing in this direction. Oh my god, the timing is awful. And it might be even worse for Ruskov. No, okay, like ships in the night, passing one another. "20 seconds on the clock here. Great position taken up by Ruskov as well. Blaze desperately looking and hunting for this player on the B bomb site, but nowhere to be found.
Is he going to press in? He could be after the bomb plant, needs to land the initial headshot, but it was only a matter of time. 15AvgGang pick up the first pistol round in this series, perhaps?
Second.
Second,
Yeah.
all right.
Second pistol round in the series. 2 out of 6.
They needed this more than ever.
Absolutely. And how, and essentially Dotty, he was the difference maker, right? In towards lowers, baiting his teammates, but well played in terms of the baiting. That's exactly when it's positive baiting.
Yeah, Labrador only getting one with the double dualies, which is kind of a shame, but as long as Dotty gets his double, evens it out, it's perfect. As you can see, Trigger Discipline executes both of them lined up. In a different world, Vuljan lands a headshot there and this round falls apart.
Yeah, his whole heart and his whole world probably broke apart when he turns and he sees the player behind him. It's going to be an eco here from the team side, just trying to get themselves in towards the B-bomb side. Utility over the top flashes and AG grenades, but none of them going to accomplish their task. At least a kill comes through. Doru doubles down. Shouldn't be anything further. Ruskov will punish. 11-6. 2 kills for the T side. Not a bad result, though, considering their lack of an investment. Now we go into the first full gun round. This is where Bravado are going to look to try and make their mark tools.
Round by round, as they would say. 3 M4A1s, all the utility, bits and pieces. Shy on some, but more on others. I would like to see how they shape up their defense, how they posture up in certain parts of the map, how much pace do they employ. We could see them 2 players sitting towards short, 1 aggressively lurking towards long. Wipeout, Blaze, tasked to manage that danger. To come down to who's better at navigating themselves through the smoke here. Labrador.
Great position as that smoke fades. Vulj never expecting him there in the corner. Opening kills go the way that they had with the MP9.
It almost feels like in rounds like these, that's when you kind of don't want to smoke certain zones, but at the same time, you never know what weapons they have, because the MP9s are way suited for these sort of altercations. Does they play behind him? Labrador gave his position, but he pushed up lowers, and Bravado just getting caught sleeping.
Yeah, look how many moves the CT side are making right now. Pushing lowers, pushing with the big flank coming through long all the way as well. Quick couple kills come back through though. 4v3, we flipped the script. It's Bravado have got the man advantage all of a sudden. Not until Spiken has something to say about it though. 38 seconds left on the clock. Wipeout in a great position. Spray's not clean, but he gets the kill. However, he's going to have to get some more from there as well. Can't clock out just yet.
Oh, Labrador, is he going to go for the big flank? Alleviate the bomb, let him pick it up. 20s.
Oh,
there's not enough time on the clock. Played. He can't be too cautious. He needs to haul ass. He needs to get where he needs to be. Pick up the bomb. In fact, this round is pretty much done. Unless Labrador throws. Literally throws. Unless he throws, this round's done.
And that's something, players tend to make those mistakes quite often. They don't realize how much time is on the clock and that they don't have the liberty of taking things slowly. You need to rush forward at that point, pick up the bomb and go straight for the plants, or you're never going to have a chance at the clutch. Wipeout even goes down after the timer. Disastrous.
Should he's chilled in spawn, I guess.
Yeah, looking for the exit kill, certainly not in his favor at that point. 15AvgGang, 3 consecutive rounds, Tools.
Pressure is starting to build on the side of Bravado. This is the third map. 11 rounds, they have the lead, but they're on the disadvantageous side. Every round that starts to slip or pass by in those situations are going to just sit at the back of their heads wondering, that could have been the round to make or break. 15AvgGang stringing some beautiful rounds together. AKs, M4s, all the weaponry, just that AWP missing on the side of Dodai.
I did say, the conversation I had with a few of the players, they mentioned they were super confident tools coming into Overpass, and now we're starting to see why. They dominated on their CT side on Mirage, and it looks like they're bringing that form here into Overpass as well. Early days, sure, but they're proving that there's some more left in the tank here. That's an egregious fight there from Lambda. Even steps into the molly to get the kill.
I mean, no matter what, they're going to be taking those initial duels. We saw what happened on, I think it was Mirage. It was Razio sitting in his own body to find a frag.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, because if Wipeout gets that second kill, 2v3 on the B bomb side, they have the bomb, there's a plant that comes through for sure. We'll never explore that reality now. And
it's always those eco rounds that change the game on its dime.
True.
On its back.
And we did highlight it already that Bravado don't play this map much, so maybe that depth on the T side could start to come into question, tools.
I did mention it starts to get scrappy when it gets to the third map and not both teams well-rehearsed, well-practiced, or well-refined on it. And where there's scrappiness, there's gaps, there's windows of opportunity just to slip by the cracks and the grooves, the blind spots essentially. Staru, nice off angle there and lowers. Just an info angle, can't really find a frag unless you do have that AWP or AUG or Krieg. Mac 10 and Wipeout, strapped for cash. Needs to be taking points, close quarter engagements. Molly towards stairs. Doing the due diligence, making sure.
Yeah, you can see they recognize the magnitude of this round, Bravado, just with how they're approaching it right now. Crossing all their T's, dotting all their I's. Got a good amount of map control to work with here as well. In towards long, in towards bathrooms, a bit of an exchange towards long. That's information for the CT side and a kill for Vilj. Opening frag. Leaves the defense in the balance, just two players on each side now.
They need this round, things aren't looking good. How do they convert this man advantage? 15AvgGang, neutral defense, not too erratic, sticking to that 2-2 setup. I feel they need to make moves soon. Vilj holding off the angle to the right-hand side. Here we go, evening it out. Labrador giving them the advantage even further. It's Daru to trade it back, but the advantage still sticks on the side of 15AvgGang. That's Daru running out. It's Daru Blaze to remain alive. Daru 2 versus 1 needs to find this clutch, and unfortunately the rotations are just too quick.
That was a little bit uncoordinated there.
Will go out and all the power will go off until the generators can kick in. Please just stand still, be aware of your surroundings until the lights come back on. Once again, within the next 4 minutes, we are scheduled to go into load shedding. All the lights will go off, all the power will go off. Just stand still until the lights come back on. Be aware of your surroundings when the lights go off.
All right, we are back. Apologies about that, guys. Doesn't look like we've missed too much here. Just some announcements in the venue that we needed to hold the mics for. But, Tools, this is about to be 10-11. And I just want to go back to that previous gun round. It looked very disjointed from Bravado Gaming. They were executing up short and through Monster before the flashes had even come over the top. And they still had 25 seconds left on the clock.
Similarities to what we saw in 15AvgGang. When they tried to change up their playbook, they went towards that B side, Molotovs. And then the flashes came, not prematurely, but post-maturely, after they entered the site and took all that damage. So, like I said, similarity in those mistakes coming out. So now they have everything, the AWP on slow. We haven't seen them on a T side yet wielding that weapon. Perhaps that could be the difference maker. 11-10, scores are tight. One differentiates the two, and in motion finds the head of Blaze. Wipeout, lucky enough, gets the trade, and Daru gets another in lowers. So that's the main advantage. They need to convert this. It's been so long.
Well, they haven't won a round yet here in the second half, Tools, so this would be the first. And as you say, they have to convert this advantage, otherwise the scores get leveled up. And with them being on the back foot of the T side, you'd probably say they're behind the game at that point, even though the scores are tied. So massive round here for Bravado Gaming.
Just hope they don't overthink it. Move into the sights with precision and poise and confidence. Slow, he can't go down there. That's an immediate rotation if he does. And that's good information, at least for the boy. Now they know they have to hit the B side. They have control of water. Eventually they will. They haven't smoked out, so the post plant, 3 versus 3.
Probably the best position Bravado have been in so far here in the half, as we do see them trying to lock it down on this B bomb side.
There's 2 smokes still left on the side of BVD, so they need to use it. They need to just cut off the rotation points, make it harder for the retake to come about from 15AvgGang. And there we go, the first comes out, but that just isolates Bulljon. That's exactly what that molly did, but Daru gets the trade, so it's a 2 versus 2. High ground is taken, but they can't find any frag for it. It's messy within the site. It's down to Daru lurking beyond, and they smell a rat in the smoke, but Daru gets a second. He needs to find the clutch, and he gets it. He gets the hat trick, in fact. That was very disorganized and disjointed, but sure, by the skin of their teeth, Bravado clinched that through.
Yeah.
That smoke was very dodgy. Yeah, they needed to use it, but why put it there? Never mind.
You couldn't actually work as a unit in the post plant anymore when you drop it on short like that. So that seemed like sketchy decision making, maybe flustered.
Panic. That's
panic.
What that is.
That's
it's
the word.
Panic.
Panic. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. That is the word. At least for 15AvgGang, they're going to be able to afford a bye coming into the next round, but still, must-win round. Goes the way of Bravado by the skin of their teeth. Incredibly close. Daru comes up with the clutch. He also got a key frag earlier in the round towards lowers, so that was a huge amount of impact coming through from him.
Okay. Seems like most of these rounds have been gun rounds in the later ends of the half. At the tail end, M4s all around, no AWP on 15AvgGang. It'll be harder to find that initial opening frag for them. Slowly also relegates it to a rifle. Just speaks to how the economy sits in the middle. No team really finding that streak.
This is a swing round, Tools. Whoever loses this is going to get economically reset, and it's great patience out of Bravado. Slowly gets the frag for free, just post it up on the angle. And we remember on Mirage how many moves 15AvgGang were making on their CT side, pushing middle, pushing ramp consistently as well, even into Palace. So it's good to see that Bravado are preparing for that sporadic aggression.
Slow and easy does it. Fills back to shenanigans near Monster. Looking for some throws, some pot shots, but just a warning for now. Daru creeping through lowers to get more control. Daru sitting in bathrooms, 2 opponents right beside him. And he's isolated, he's all alone, so he has to go big or go home, jiggle peeking towards bathrooms. That just alerts him to just double up and trade it out from Daru, furthering that advantage. Spacing and trading, the sticking to the basics, Bravado. But still, more decisions have to be made. Time is of the essence. The rotation is hurling in from the side of 15AvgGangs. No utility just yet. Wipeout moving in to clear the site, and it's Lebricor, Riskoff with the double, Riskoff with the triple.
What a way for them to win the round. Great fight back there from 15AvgGang. Huge multi-kill as well. Unfortunately, we're going to look to try and build a little bit of extra anticipation here for this all-important decider, guys. Obviously, we're combating external forces right now here in South Africa, so we're going to have to pause the game while we wait for load shedding to set in. Once it does come through, we switch across to the generators, and then we're able to get back into the match after that. So, guys, just deal with us. Obviously, we're making do with the situation as we can. Don't go too far. We're going to pause the server, and we'll be back once the generators are on. We're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Some extra seats have opened up here if you want to come watch some spectacular Counter-Strike. If you stuck with us online, well, we appreciate your patience as well. And your patience will be well rewarded. Tools, we're back into the action.
12 to 11, tight as ever. Semi-buy coming out from Bravado. Last minute purchases up there. You see on the galley. Lots of smokes, lots of flashes, and a Molotov. Let's see if they quicken the pace or stay static.
Yeah, they've got options available here with this investment. Problem is, lose this round 12-12. No money left in the bank, 13-12 at that point. And 15AvgGang are in the ascendancy. So everything in the balance right now. Remember, guys, this is our second of 3 games today. Last game coming up after this, it's going to be Outlaws from Nigeria playing 15AvgGang from Algeria. So if you're here at Rage, be sure to stick around for that game as long as, well, you're allowed to, and then catch the rest online, tools.
100%.
I think we're going to run out of time today, though.
Odds if necessary. Chloe spamming to the smoke, can't find anything there. Just sending some warning shots, a double swing towards Blaze on long, and he uses the map architecture, the big rocks for defense, but Dottie takes him out and gets a second. In fact, Slowy comes through with a trade of his own. The man advantage still sits with the Algerians.
Huge play coming through from Dottie to pivot and get that kill in towards bathrooms as well. Man advantage as a result. And as we've already dressed up, this was a bold call from Bravado to go for the investment. Now they need to group themselves up and make something happen here with the man down.
It was a bold call indeed. They effectively forfeit the lead if they lose this round. Man disadvantage sitting on their side. Not much utility to work with, just a Molotov and a smoke. It's Rizo. He needs to pivot, find some common ground, risk off at the off angles, and all 3 members from Algeria are here with a strong statement of a defense as they, I think, even it out 12-12.
Yes.
Stoked about that, as you can hear them chanting, fist pump, hand gestures, signifying so.
What a great way to break the ice after a prolonged break as well, just to get straight back into the action. Deal a significant blow to Bravado's chances as well. They've only won a single round on this T side so far, lest we forget. Of course, it's been a while since we started this half, so I wouldn't blame you guys if you did, but this is 15AvgGang in the ascendancy.
Good early nade and Slowy, upgraded armor, Tech 9, smoke and flash. Then they move together as a unit to find these trades and upgrade their weapons.
Yeah, I mean, Bravado needs some economic damage here, tools. Gonna have to find a few frags. They don't want to allow 15AvgGang to get that full economic buffer behind them.
Make the game easy for yourself. So they slow the pace down, assess what's ahead of them. A smoke and a flashbang, one for headshot and a flashbang to allow them access with ease into this ace-up, but the utility is good. Viking gets caught, but is able to recover and finishes off that kill. Trade comes from Dara onto Doddy. That smoke will buy them some space and time, but will it be enough? Barely surviving, eventually traded out. The ace-up has fallen, but the rotation is there quick and fast. And the spray betrays Riskov. As Bravado, man advantage, low HP though, but they're making it work, Matt. Another frag, it's down. Celebricorn, the trades are perfect. It's Slowy, trade off the trade, the captain leading by example.
That's exactly it, tools. That was all on Slowy to make that huge play for his team. Beautiful wide swing there towards Bang to get the player, the kill on Ruskov. But he doesn't just stop there. Continues to frag out throughout the round. Bravado re-secure themselves the lead, but not only that, tools. They have destroyed 15AvgGang economically. And it's one thing to lose to an eco, but when that breaks your economy, losing to an eco round, that's the absolute worst case scenario.
That's a gut punch. I'm sure they're feeling it right now. The coach silenced as attack board is needed. A pulse coming out from the side of Bravado. Take or tack, we have yet to find out.
Shouldn't be too long, just attack timeout, tools.
Assessing the economy, what next? And I do think they need attack on the T side more than they had on the CT side, because that's where you need to be coming together with solutions and plans. What has worked, what hasn't worked. It's the process of elimination. Dottie with that deagle, we've seen how potent it can be. They spread thin. Stock standard default coming in from the boys in blue. Full readjusting at the right place. Once again, I mean, he got caught twice. First time he succeeded, second time, gives away an AK. can't put those in the wrong hands. And Slowly's about to get double teamed. P250 to the face.
Yeah, this isn't going according to plan for Bravado Gaming whatsoever. Everybody has a plan until you get clicked on the head, Tools.
And at this point in time, that's when you start to say to IGL, screw the default, let's just bundle up and hit towards the A side or the B side, because you can see what happens when the players go astray, when they get caught with their pants down, trying to fumble between utility, trying to multitask, listening to the comms. It's tough, and now they practically just came out of spawn on the 50-second mark.
Yeah, they have to pick up the pieces here, do Bravado Gaming, and they barely have anything to show for it, as you say. Just emerging from spawn now, essentially. Gonna get a bit of a spring in their step right now. Towards long they go. It's actually a really good option as well. Nobody from the side of 15AvgGang close enough to get the audio cues. And so it looks like Bravado have found a passage back into the round here, Tools.
Just kind of weirded out how they just relegated and left the A sides completely. Or they could favor them looking at Bravado's posturing and positioning on the post plant. They have to take bank or take headshot to opt for bank, but no. The defensive members there, Daru needs to bundle up with his teammate, loses his 1 versus 1 against Riskov. It's down to Blaze, high ground, wins out the first duel, traded up by Riskov once again, that's the second. It's down to Wildheart in 1 versus 3. Riskov gets the trifecta, gives them that 13th round, as you can hear them chant ever so loudly.
We've just traded eco rounds, Tools. We have just traded eco rounds. Great effort from Bravado to try and recover the round, but the damage was already done with that exchange in the B bomb site. And they weren't able to really come back from that. I mean, it was a good option to go towards long, but drop the ball in the post plant. 13-13, scores leveled up. By far and wide, the closest map we've had so far here at the Intel Africa Masters LAN Finals.
This is what we like to see. Both teams not letting up, not giving up. Perseverance is the name of the game. Who has what it takes? Labrador, 2 versus 1 in lowest. Daru bests them.
Vital gun round here for both of these teams. A couple players with no money on 15AvgGang. Pretty much no one with cash on the side of Bravado. They do, however, have an opening kill.
How long will they stand up for this boost? Nothing's going to be profitable or beneficial from it. Or rather opt to take short control, leave a player there, rotate back towards this A side. There's cues, there's Molotov, there's smokes. Mismatched on the numbers. Bravado opts to pivot towards lowers. Still, bunch and lots of pieces of utility to use towards heaven. Molly towards barrels, Molly towards short, flashbangs for the entry point. So they on the lead, the ball is in their court, and there we go. Spiken gives that advantage, he's able to just transfer that information, but the site is empty, no one's at home.
Yeah, exactly that. Slowy was trying to take as much attention as he possibly could towards that A bomb site, and he does a fantastic job. B bomb site has nobody in position, but Raizo will still get a kill on Dolge. That's a man advantage now for the CTs on the retake.
Yeah, they got good positions on the post plant, the CT, so it's up to the T's. Just 1 smokes and 2 flashbangs left. 1 has been used. Blaze is going to swing up on it. Can't find anything, and that battle was labored. And Rissa wins it out. Traded up by Wipeout. Oh, but deleted. Riskov is having a fantastic performance. It's down to Daru. Composed player. The experience in the team. You trying to use that smoke, and unfortunately, Algeria, 15 gang average, once again take the lead. It's the blue star that starts to slowly dim. And it needs Slowy right now. We haven't mentioned his name. We haven't really seen him do anything magical on the attacking side. He's finally got the AWP in his hands, and usually this is the moments where he stands tall and answers the questions we're raising.
Yeah, he's towards the bottom end of the scoreboard here as well, so just not having the performance that we normally associate with Slowy. Vilge also struggling heavy. I've spoken about at length how he's had to step into that role of a player who now takes more responsibility, and they can't afford this level of a performance out of him, Tools.
Essentially, it's your 2 star players from Bravado underperforming. And I wouldn't say underperforming, I just don't think they're well prepared as they would want to be on maps like Inferno, on maps like Mirage. They don't really have clear roles and responsibilities delegated on the T side for them to come together with the solution to the problems that they're facing.
Looking problematic right now for Bravado Gaming as we get back into the game.
Tilted screen or tilted?
Good question, Tools. We're about to find out. And if 15AvgGang win this round, pretty much win the series off the back of that. No money in the bank for Bravado. If they don't get a bomb plant and they lose this round, might as well wrap it up and put a bow on it. But Blaze, well, he still has something to say.
Okay. That's the opener, Spiken. Unbeknown to him, a lurker above in the bat's nest. Blaze looks down. Don't know what that real idea was there. Labrador had to surely be in position to find a trade at Star, who was sitting at lowers and momentarily could frag or be fragged, and good angle, good positioning, good crosshair placement, and all round the map, finding each individual frag. 15AvgGang perhaps looking for too much information.
Yeah, neither of the teams have actually been able to win a round yet to bury their opponents. Every time they've had a chance to land that killing blow, they've both squabbled, or squandered the opportunity, should I say. Hasn't been very convincing from either team. I mean, at this point, Ruskov's just fighting to keep his AK in play.
A sweet headshot.
Absolutely. Making sure he gets rid of the AWP as well. Just good attention to detail, but great round coming through from Bravado. They haven't had to do all that much. It was Blaze's opening kill that was the most impressive, but outside of that, they've pretty much just had their crosses in the right place at the right time. As expected, 14-14, just a matter of time at this point. It's getting hot in here, Tools.
It really is. 13-14, it's going to be 14-14. No one's willing to give up the lead. No one's willing to give up what lies beyond placing themselves in that grand final. Essentially, that's what this match is for. One more match still remaining for the day. After this, it'll be 15AvgGang up against Outlaws. But you want to be moving into the next match on a high note.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, I do fear for Outlaws going into that next series, because it's not going to be any easier against the North African team 15AvgGang compared to what it was in their first series.
Judging by their pace and how they play, it could even be harder. At least Bravado was showing a bit of respect.
Yeah.
You know, still going through the motions of the ocean.
That's well said, Tools. 14-14. Blaze in spawn will get a gun.
I forgot about him.
Oh no, whoa, what?
Whoa, Vols!
Are you kidding me?
That readjustment headshot?
That's criminal.
Ballistic!
How has he got that frag?
Nobody knows.
What a way to get a trade though, to level the numbers back out into a 4v4, couple shots through the smoke.
Again, I think unnecessary for Slow to be in that position, to lose out in his life, and Doddy just fluffs his spray. Blaze picks up a free frag there at Spike, and he needs to go big here. Over wide swings, doubled up, that's a second for Blaze. And they're going to be trotting on. Still very widespread across the map, so they can't settle on a decision just yet.
Oh my word, Ruskov and Ryzo splitting the difference, splitting the odds. Both going on their opposite missions. But it looks like their fate is sealed. Or is it, Tools? Or is it? Volge and Blaze don't look incredibly healthy right now. And they're gravitating in towards that B bomb site. They've spotted out one. Ryzo's got the kill on Wipeout. That has to be the information for Bravado, that they now know both of the remaining players are on that side of the map.
Problem is the rotations are so far for the T's to pivot to the opposite side that the CTs will beat them there.
Oh no.
Already, Ruskov and Lowe's, 2 players on low HP.
Oh no.
This could be a massacre. Knife out! No waste! The sun's out, so your gun should be out! Already, there's a player sitting on that A side. It's Rizzo. He's on such low HP, so at the same time, it's down to Dari. We all know this, and I'm sure they know this himself. Bulls taking first contact. No, Daru! The awareness is there! It's down to Ruskov. Ever so silently creeping up the stairwell. Finds the head. Daru. It's Bulls. 21 HP. Patient. He's sitting in a subtle angle. Hiding in plain sight almost. Dancing with the devil!
What a way to win the round.
Destiny, fist pumps, delegating him all round. Once again, he's the guy to clutch it out.
And he's been quiet throughout the map so far, but Volge stands up when they need him to the most. 15-14. Bravado Gaming nearly dropped a perfect path to map point and series point. 4v2 Tools. The rug nearly got pulled out from underneath them.
Okay. Composure is the key.
Absolutely.
Pressure at all-time high. for both teams.
The problem here, man, is 15AvgGang don't have money. I'm pretty sure that they strapped for cash coming into this next round. How big was that kill on the player towards Optimus with 10 seconds on the clock when they push into the bomb site?
That was huge. I think Doru, he needed to overextend, but at the same time, he was, I don't know, almost felt like he should have been the one planting the bomb while Vils looks for information. But again, any given day, what's the right decision in that call? We're 15 to 14. Map point for Bravado. 15AvgGang, sewing machine guns, dinks and dongs, and that long-range submachine guns does the work. 22 HP and 49 with the submachine guns, but now it's the FAMASs that need to come into play. Long control being established by Bravado. Blaze taking point. What now, Matt?
Oh, good question. Somebody has to make a play here, Tools. Somebody has to find a way back into this round here for the T side. They've got time, that's not the problem. They have resources, that's not the problem.
They didn't spot Blaze in the jump spot, and he's got ever so closely.
He's got a teammate behind him as well. Wide swing from Ruskov cost him his life. Blaze going to activate off the back of that. Doesn't spot the second player, but might not make a difference anyway. Now locates his position. Big kill from Dottie though, still keeping his team in the round. 3v3, and it's going to be Bravado who continue to make moves.
Whoa. But they don't know it's a fake just yet. In fact, they do. They're all getting pulled towards it. A-side. Blaze is standing tall, making himself look big. Dottie needs to find that frag before they can really focus on what's really important is the bomb plant. And now that they understand that the ruse has been thrown, Blaze just needs to buy time. That's his job. And Dottie with an MP9. Is he going to upgrade? That'll just expend more time. But he does. 2 MP9s and an AK for the retake. 2 versus 3. 2 flashes on the side of Bravado. How will they go about this? First one. Oh, big carelessness coming out from Rizzo. Still a 2v2. It's still there for the Algerians to try to clutch it out. And Dottie with that AK. Slowy gets the trade. 1 versus 1. Labrador wide swing, and Slowy, the captain, stands tall. Not the best of performances, but picks it up when it matters the most as they take out the Algerians. 15AvgGang. Beautiful performance coming up from both teams.